Good morning and welcome to Icon Park here in Orlando. So this is obviously a long drive here, but we're coming here for our first visit to Sea Life for their Haunted Seas event. So this is for everybody, but definitely catered towards more children atmospheres. So we're gonna be heading inside, we're gonna check it all out, we're gonna do their scavenger hunt, and just go check out the whole aquarium for the first time, because it's actually our first time in this aquarium, period. So we're very excited. Again, Haunted Seas is here for the duration throughout Halloween. So we're heading right into Sea Life. I've actually never been to Sea Life. I have been to Icon Park a few times at this point. I believe this is the normal entrance for Sea Life. Off to the right here does look like it's the VR experience, because they do have one of those here. Heading down and around. Again, I don't really know where I'm going. I've never been here before, but I'll keep looking around. So we're walking to our first room here. Again, with this being a Halloween overlay for the event, you can see skeletons and other creatures along the windows here. I'm sure we'll see a lot of decorations throughout the event. But I do like this room. It does have a projection on the ceiling. It doesn't show up super well on camera, but it's up here on the ceiling. And surrounded by actual fish too. So we're heading into that first room here, down a corridor with some projections on the walls too. We've hung up tons of like pirate flags and stuff. Oh, there's lots of cobweb stuff down here. I'm sure it's not normally red over here either. Probably part of the overlay. So obviously one of the big things with this exhibit are the lionfish, obviously in here, are invasive to Florida. They have been for quite some time, but there is an eel. He's just hanging out. He's a pretty big guy though. He must love the pot. There's lots and lots of lionfish in here.
It's a garden.
So we found one of my favorites already, just in this first room. It's the worms. I love these guys. They're in kind of like a magnifying thing, but they also have like a screen in the back that's like playing like eels are talking to like something. I think a crayfish. That's funny. I don't know how well you can hear it. The speaker's a little quiet, but I love these guys in here. I think they're very silly. I did find a map of the aquarium on a little tablet over here. We were just walking right past the room there. There's some jellyfish on our side here. That looks like what we're kind of going into is just like, oh, it's literally called the jellyfish wall. So that's where we started down there, got up through the ring. Next up is going to be the Atlantic Oceans. They have a pretty big area for that, but they also have an axolotl exhibit that I did not know they had. So I'm very excited for that. So in part of the haunted overlay, the Haunted Seas, there is both a character called Captain Sebastian. I believe we'll see him later today, hopefully. But there's also a haunted quest. I picked up mine right over here, a little bit behind where we just saw the jellyfish in the same area. The first stamp point is actually in this first area, right behind that little fish spot after you walk into this area. So as you can see, it's not really a stamp, as it's more like a punch out. This looks like a little fish there. We're going to continue on. We'll keep looking for him as we go. Again, this is a free experience. I don't know what it fully entails, but I'm sure we'll find out along the way. Next up on our little adventure, shark shipwreck. I really like this area for the Halloween area. Looks almost like a derelict like ship with plates above us and stuff. Got some starfish over here. Again, lots of decorations all over the place, including like on the glass. I have noticed a lot of funny projections all around the place. Seem to have a lot of use of projection equipment throughout. There's like a crap up there that moves around. I think it's cool. Again, lots of light overlay, it seems like, for this event. But I do like all the chandeliers that they've hung up all over the place. They also have a lot of like noises in this of like a creaking ship. That's fun. They also have over here, I think this could be part of the event, or might be always here, but they do have an area where you can learn to tie some different ropes. I know how. I was a Boy Scout. But there's lots of areas to see fish in this area all around. I'm not very good about walking around an aquarium, as we've seen in the past. I don't really have much commentary, but they do have like a matching game over here, it looks like, along the walls. Again, another projection over here. I'm assuming it's octopuses that are in here, but I'm not really seeing any. There's anemones all over the place, though.
Thank you.
I see one of our big tanks over here, too. And also our second stand. It's going to be off to the left here. You swim with the sharks. I'm assuming we're going to get a shark stamp, but this is a pretty cool tank here. Pretty big. I even see a sea turtle in the back. Better look at the large tank. I don't know what the largest in here is, but this is pretty big. They do have some sharks down there.
Gabby, no, please.
Again, I do see a sea turtle back there too. Oh, another shark up above too. And there's also a big old ray off to the bottom left. So as you continue to walk past the shark area, you do have multiple like globes here. One's very magnified. And we have more decorations up above. Then we're gonna actually be taking a right into an area called the Last Dragons. I believe this is where we're gonna find the axolotls. Some very low decorations here. Definitely gonna smack me in the head at least. I do like how lowly forested this area is. I think that's kind of fun. Again, lots of projections that I really like. I think it adds a lot to the area. As we walked around the corner, this center tank is where we have our axolotls. A couple of them back in the corner over here. A white one here. Another one here laying right next. There's a lot back behind them. They're all like hiding in the dark spot. There's a couple more back on the back left, but I do think there's a couple around this front side if we come around. Could be wrong, but I think those are baby ones in there. One right here at the front. Another one here at the front over here. Again, I think these are baby axolotls. It's super cute to see. They're in their own tanks inside. We walk out of the axolotls here. We walk, as we just saw, right behind that statue. And we just walked through that small area. That seems to be a newer addition, just with the way it's set up. More projections above, but again, very surprised to see how much projection equipment they're using in here. But a bigger, like, seawall over here, with a worker over here giving some facts about some different corals and different ways to help, you know, the coral reefs not die. We walk under here. We're into our next section. So this whole area is called Coral Sea, as I found out just from that sign. They do have a walk through there for both adults and kids, but I low-key am not bending down right now. More, I think it's an interactive TV off to the right there. And they have another spot here that I would say in the middle there is going to be, because there's a lot of coral restoration stuff. Oh yeah, I can actually see a picture right here of it. Eventually, it looks like that will be growing coral. It does look like it has a little bit pieces and bits off of it, but that's what that's for. Again, more projections. So after you exit through those tunnels or walk around, your next dive station is right down here, right before we see another eel. There's be a lot of eels in this area. Then we're going to continue on into the Pacific Ocean area after that. So right in here. So in the Pacific Ocean area, they do have a jellyfish lab back here, a couple other tanks, but they also have Captain Sebastian, who is their special Halloween character. So you can see the meet and greet times back there right now, at least as of today. This is what they are. But he will be here on Saturdays and Sundays throughout the event. Other than today, that is the September 19th, he is here. And then he will also be here Halloween Day for meet and greeting. So those are the only exceptions to that rule. I'm not much of a character person, so I'm going to pass up on Sebastian, but I do like that they have something here for characters to meet and greet for Halloween, especially with a lot of them being dressed up. This is one of the tunnels we actually saw earlier from all the way over there in this big old tank here. The giant head too over there we didn't really see. One of the turtles is coming right towards us.
Make sure you look all around you.
Not very quickly, but he's moving. Oh, there's also one of the leopard sharks over here.
Get to the crossroads where the tunnels meet, with the Atlantic in front of us, and the Indian Ocean behind me.
Nice.
Welcome to look around.
So up above here, they do have a lot of candles and different pumpkins. Lots of spider webs over here. So again, here's another one of those tunnels we saw earlier. And over here by Captain Sebastian, I totally missed it as we were walking by. Dive Station 4 is actually off in the corner. You might miss it because there's normally a line here, but just so you know, Dive Station 4 here. This is again one of those tunnels we saw earlier. We saw them right over there. But it's a cool tunnel here. It's right into our next area. After the tunnel here, we come into our next section. I think it's still part of the Pacific Ocean section. There's more spots for kids to crawl under. They do have a lot of these tunnels that kids can crawl up into and look around them. But Station 5 is off to the very right here, right as you walk in. But as you continue on, there is like a smaller viewing hole down here towards the floor. Again, in that big tank we've been seeing this whole time. Definitely one made for little ones. More tanks over here. Then we do also have Dive Station 6 right up to the corner. So they're basically right next to each other here. So right as you come past Dive Station 6 there, if you're doing the scavenger hunt, there's Seahorse Hideaway here. A little spot for seahorses. A lot back there. I didn't even notice. They're all just hanging out down below. And as we head around the corner here, we come to undoubtedly our biggest viewing area here. Another like projection right behind there, more pirate stuff, but a really, really big like tank here. The big old head. Lots of rays in here too. And holy crap, we found Dive Station 7. So far from the last one that was just around that corner. It feels like they gotten a little tighter over here. But just right up to the side, right here. As we continue walking, they do have like a quiet area over here. Just have some bushes in front of it. So if you have a little one that might need a break, there's a little area there with some benches behind it. We walk into our next area. Oh, I barely missed the skull on the thing. They have a giant pumpkin here over here. And then they do also have an additional adding that you can get that can allow you to feed the fish in here. They do have projections all over the floor. More skeletons up on the trees. This is another pretty big room though. But again, this is kind of here for the feeding fish experience. I don't know how much extra it was, but it wasn't that much. So if you're interested in feeding some of the fish, you can definitely get that. Next up is the Everglades wetlands. Another projection on the wall there of a snake. Oh, another pretty big area. Always going to be heavily themed to the Everglades, so we're going to see lots of fish and species and such that are native to the Florida Everglades. That I have been down there. Never did a video on it. Maybe one day. No gators in this area, other than the one on the projection. A big old goldfish over here, holy moly. Are those actually goldfish? Oh, those are goldfish. I don't know how well you can see that. That boys are massive. Next up is the coastal rock pools, right as you exit the Everglades area. Kind of showing off some of those coral designs that we saw earlier with the PVC pipes in this tank here, actually. They do have a touching pool over here if you're interested in doing that. I am not. I do not like touching things, but they do have a lot of different anemones and shells and all that good stuff right down here. Hello? Thank you. So if you're interested in touch pools, they do have one of those here, if that is something you're looking for. They also have a wash station here on the other side. So Dive Station 8, so we're almost there. I think there's 9 in total, but here's Dive Station 8, right here in the touch area. They also are running an auction for the Sea Life Trust right now, and they do have Pokemon cards. I don't think they're like that great of ones, but some of the classic ones over here. And over here, I did just notice the Seafood Watch Cafe is actually, it says Monterey Bay Aquarium. That's out in California. I know her because of Doug and Rosa. But I just thought that was funny. Well, obviously, this whole area is supposed to be like California coast themed, so I think it's fitting that they have the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I've always wanted to go. Dive Station 9 is over here. So we're heading up towards the exit right now. So this is going to be your last dive station as you walk out. So as you exit, you walk into the gift shop, obviously. The sea treasures over here. They have lots of different merch and stuff for both kids and adults. So if you're looking for anything from the aquarium, obviously on your way out is always the best spot. We've now exited the Sea Life area. We do have some other stuff coming up here soon in a different vlog because there's a lot of other stuff we can do today thanks to the friends over here. But this is what you do get for doing the full little scavenger hunt. It's just a pirate bag with a little bit of, I think it's Haribo gummies inside. So if you do it, that's what you get. I actually do think that's pretty nice. But again, we're going to be coming up with a different video for both Madame Tussauds and the Icon Wheel. That will be my first time on the Icon Wheel. So I'm very interested to try that out. I don't have a problem with heights. Other members of my party do, so that will be interesting. But I actually had a really great time inside the Sea Life. I've never been in there before, so this was, again, the first experience for me. I'm about to walk through it a second time to take some pictures. But in general, first time going through was pretty great. I was really glad to see axolotls. I've never seen one, I don't think, in person, so I thought that was very cute. And I thought a lot of their bigger aquarium areas were also very cool. So if you're interested in coming out for Halloween and for the whole event that they're doing for the Haunted Seas here at Sea Life, definitely do that. Again, they run it all the way through the week, but if you are wanting to meet Captain Sebastian, make sure you do come on weekends or on Halloween day, because that will be the only days you can meet him. So thanks for watching. I hope this video brought a little bit more joy into your day, and we'll see you guys next time.